Welcome back to the Pandas data manipulation course. By now you know how to inspect data frames and how to subset data from them. Now it's time to start doing some real data analysis. In this class you'll learn how to calculate summary statistics. You'll also learn how to group your data to gain more insights. Pivot tables are a quick and easy way to summarize and visualize your data. To practice our statistical skills, we use a COVID-19 dataset. We'll start with the describe function to gain our first insights. After that, we'll find out how many people died of this terrible disease, and we'll determine when the first cases were reported in each country. The dataset we are using was last updated on the 17th of August 2020 and is provided by the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control. We downloaded it as a CSV file and used the readCSV function to create the COVID data frame. When we apply the info method on the data frame, we find out there are almost 37,000 rows in the dataset. The date wrap column has been converted into a date column, and there are quite a few columns with missing data. The describe function shows us that on average almost 21 deaths are reported on a single day in each country. The highest number of deaths reported on one day in a country is almost 5,000. We use the min and max methods to determine the first date in the data frame. If we subtract the first date from the last date, we find out that our data frame covers 230 days. By applying the sum method, we see how many people died of this horrible disease. It seems like it won't take long till we reach a death toll of 1 million. With the agg function, we can apply multiple statistical functions in one go. The functions that are executed need to be provided in a list as a function parameter. Please note that we imported NumPy to apply some functions that are only provided in the NumPy package. To get an overview of the dates on which the first cases were reported in each country, we start by sorting the data frame on the date reported field. After that, we create a subset of the rows in which there were at least one new case reported. The second step we take is to drop duplicates by applying the drop duplicates function. We only keep the first row of each country by applying the keep parameter. Since we sorted the data on the date reported field in step 1, we can be sure that the date of the first case is included in our final data frame. To demonstrate cumulative statistics, we will be applying the cumsum function to calculate the cumulative number of cases in Italy. Other cumulative statistics can be calculated by applying similar functions. Before we start calculating the cumulative number of cases, we first filter the cases that were reported in Italy and sort on the date reported field. After that, we select the rows on which there were new cases reported. The first row of this data frame tells us on which date the first case was reported. In step 2, we filter the data frame to start with the first date on which a case was reported. By applying the cumsum method, we obtain an overview of the cumulative number of cases. On the 28th of February, there were 250 new cases reported, bringing the total number of cases reported to 650. Another very useful function is group by. In this example, we are grouping the COVID cases and deaths by continent. At the end of this statement, we include the sum method to sum all cases and deaths per continent. In a similar way, we can also determine the mean or the median per continent. It is also possible to apply the group by function and the agg function together. This allows us to calculate multiple statistics in one go. In this case, we are calculating the sum, the maximum, and the average number of cases and deaths per continent. Similar to what you might know from Excel, it is also possible to create pivot tables in Pandas. Let's find out how to do this. In this example, we are using the pivot_table function to determine the number of cases and deaths per month. We are applying the index parameter to choose the row labels and the value parameters to set the column labels. The default setting of a pivot table is to calculate the mean values. To change from calculating the mean to calculating the sum of the number of cases and deaths, we set the agg function parameter to sum. To find out how to apply other aggregation functions, refer to the Pandas documentation by clicking the link on this slide. The aggfunc parameter can also be applied to calculate multiple aggregation statistics. In this case, we are calculating the sum and the mean for both the number of cases and the number of deaths. The column parameter allows us to see multiple columns. In this example, we calculate the total number of cases per continent per month. By applying the margin parameter, the totals of the rows and the columns are displayed. This shows us that Europe had over 3.2 million cases by the end of August, and that there were almost 22 million cases in the whole world. We hope you enjoyed learning how to calculate summary statistics. Pivot tables are a quick and powerful way to gain insights from your data. The next class will be about indexes. If you know how to use indexes in a smart way, you can save a lot of coding time. I'm looking forward to seeing you there.